Hello, this is Steve.
This is Sam.
And this is Jimmy.
Welcome to today's NPR Voice Levels. Today we'll be taking a look at language. Our topic is, what's your favorite slang term? Jimmy, what's your favorite slang term?
Well, I don't have my favorite slang term down quite yet, but a very strong contender right now is radical.
Right on, brother.
So, looking at me now, for the audience.
They can't see us staring at you.
No, they can't. They both stared at me. It was unsettling. What you should know, though, audience, is that my favorite slang term is a bit more old-fashioned. My favorite slang term is gosh. There's a sort of innocence to it. Gosh. Sounds a bit like a food. Replaces taking the Lord's name in vain. It's there's a charm to it that I quite enjoy.
It's wholesome for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
It's almost archaic at this point.
It's flexible. Gosh darn it. Gosh dang it. And maybe I'm jumping the gun and spilling the beans on a couple of my favorite slang terms as well. But Sam, tip fedora your direction. I quite enjoy the old-fashioned slang term. A few more that I'd like to bring up. Willikers. That's really inspired by your use of gosh. I thought Gorsh from Goofy. He's a big Willikers.
I'm not familiar with his work.
I really also enjoy variations of gosh darn it, including gosh dang it, dadgummit, doggone it, gol darn it, etc.
All good ones. I am a big fan of Golly G as well, or, taking slang out of Golly G and just shortening it to Golly.
Golly.
It's a good one.
Now, Golly G, he is a artist of some sort?
Yes. It's the origin of the word.
Oh, okay.
You'll learn something every day.
Mm-hmm.
Dates back to, I believe, 1952.
Oh, wow. Or gosh, rather.
Golly.
Jimmy, you eclipsed both of our selections as you went radical 80s. Is there any other sort of words of that time that you'd like to throw into that lot?
Well, one that I can definitely think of is totally tubular.
Tubular.
Right on.
Pardon me, audience. This is letting my respective hair down. Okay, to take a turn from our walk through the decades, let's look at slang that replaces other words. So, for instance, rumpus. Rumpus is a great slang term when you don't want to say, shenanigans or hootenanny or...
Please slow down. That's a little too extreme for me right now.
Okay.
Or too radical.
Definitely. A little too radical, a little too tubular.
Totally.
We need to tone it down a little bit. I do actually really like rumpus because it can also be used as a noun, or rather an adjective for a noun, as the rumpus room.
Audience, to peel back the curtain, in fact, this podcast is brought to you from the rumpus room.
Yes, I refuse to live in a home unless there is a rumpus room.
Perhaps this is a turn of direction from slang terms, but on the note of rumpus room, what's everyone's favorite sort of auxiliary room of a home? Den, right here. Everyone likes a good den. It's reminiscent of an animal abode, and we as humans get to participate in that if we, in fact, have a den.
It's definitely a primal room of the home.
Often covered in wooden paneling to evoke feelings of the forest, nature.
In my experience, it usually also has a fireplace, which also evokes that primal feeling, as though you're camping.
Ah, yes, indeed. Sort of the oddity of both connecting to the outdoors while being inside does create a nice dichotomy which one can enjoy.
Man reaching for a more primal time.
Definitely. And even better, the den can also double as a rumpus room.
Look at that. That's radical. That's radical thinking, I must say.
I'm sorry for getting a little too extreme there. However, my favorite auxiliary room of the house would have to be the study, similar to a den, but a little more scholarly.
It's really the contrast, once again, where man reaches for his primal nature when sitting in the den. You can instead say that man accepts his domestication and reaches for a higher intellectualism when sitting in a study.
Oh, for sure. Well, Sam, he's currently a little flabbergasted, a little too lost in his thoughts on the concept of the study.
It seems, I must confess, superfluous. One can study in any room.
So you think the purpose of a study is just overtaken by any other room in a home?
I would concur.
It's obsolete, redundant?
Yes, I would say as much.
Wow.
I seem to have upset my coworkers here.
Well, I think that's just absurd. The study is, although an auxiliary room of the home, probably one of the more important ones.
Why would you say that?
Well, where else would I study for my SATs?
Even beyond standardized tests, the study is where one can reflect on a book that they didn't even know they owned.
I would say that one could do such in a good many rooms. A sunroom, a dining room, a laundry room even. One could do such activities in.
But the study is separate from all these rooms where the hustle and bustle of the normal household is far, far away from this room. You can focus in the study.
There is no rumpus in the study.
While the den can double as a rumpus room, the study cannot. Though it can double as a music room.
Could not any room double as a music room?
Well, where are you supposed to practice your instruments?
Laundry room.
Now, dear audience, I want to bring to attention that Sam was in fact raised in a barn.
It was a lovely barn.
And it's also a very fun slang term.
Was it? Oh, yes, it is. It's more of a slang phrase, though.
Well, how about this? What is your favorite slang phrase?
Cat's out of the bag.
Ah, that's a good one.
Is that really slang, though?
That might be more of a phrase. Just a saying.
An expression, if you will.
Yes. Steve?
Audience, I'm deep in thought. I'm whisking the whiskers upon my chinny chin chin. Maybe that's a slang phrase. Chinny chin chin.
That just might be one. I'll have to think on that in my study later.
Audience, we dearly hope that you've been listening from your study. We hope that you have found our conversation to be both radical and rumpus-like. Please join us next time on NPR Voice Levels.